Please welcome Frank Carr.
Good evening, everyone. It's truly a blessing to be in the house and to be able to speak for such a distinguished man as Congressman Tom Perriello. As he said, my name is Frank Carr. I'm from Halifax County, Virginia. One of the greatest counties in the world. I'm a retired veteran of over 20 years of military service. I split it up between the Air Force and Army. I'm a member of many veterans organizations, some local in the county, some within the state of Virginia, and also some national organizations. In my time as being a member of those organizations, I assist many veterans with information concerning their veteran benefits and to help them to attain the benefits they so deserve here in America. In Halifax, as well as many other rural areas across the state of Virginia, many veterans have problems with access to veterans' health care that they so greatly need. Congressman Perriello co-sponsored the Rural Veterans Health Care Improvement Act of 2009. In sponsoring this act will ensure veterans in rural areas will have access to quality health care that they so greatly need. Tom also introduced to Congress, and Congress passed the Health Care for Family Caregivers Act of 2009. This bill will provide that the VA health care centers, which have great needs of money to provide the benefits for our veterans will have it, so that the health care providers for our veterans that's disabled will have the health care they need. And by doing this, this will be a great saving to the families of disabled veterans all across Virginia. And also, in our country today with double-digit unemployment, Tom has made access to higher education and vocational training one of his top priorities. He introduced the Veterans Worker Training Act of 2009, which will increase the Department of Veterans Affairs on-the-job training benefits for its veterans. This bill will provide our veterans with the financial assistance they need in order to get on-the-job training as they go looking for a job, which is in this day and time somewhat hard to find if you don't have the on-the-job training that you need in order to obtain that job. Tom has held the Department of Veteran Affairs accountable to ensure veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan receive the education benefits they so greatly need to, and also make sure that they have their part of the new post-9/11 GI Bill, which is one of the greatest GI bills to increase veterans' benefits and education throughout America. During my 20 years in the armed forces, I fought for freedom that we enjoy in America today. And Congressman Perriello, with his endorsement from the Political Action Committee of the VFW and his A1 rating from the Afghanistan, Iraqi Veterans of America Action Fund Congressional Report Card, shows he cares for our veterans all across America. to make sure that they get the word out, that we have a man that's on our side, that's fighting for veterans' rights and benefits, someone that we waited. Someone that we waited for many years to have someone to stand for us. And I'm proud to have him and proud to stand behind him. I'm also proud to see in my lifetime some of the things that I fought for during my many years in the military come true. With Barack Obama as president, and a congressman in the 5th district that stands up for veterans' rights and fight for those veterans that are standing behind him. So with that, I would just encourage each of you on 2 November to get out and cast a vote for that congressman that has stood for us and have made sure that our veterans get what is rightly theirs. Get out and vote 2 November.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice Mayor of Charlottesville, Holly Edwards.
But still, like dust, I rise. Out of the dust of a racially divided Charlottesville, Virginia, the Jefferson School was built for black children to receive an education. The Jefferson School symbolizes a community torn apart. Tom Perriello has worked hard, and his work included the federal grant of $850,000 for the Jefferson School. A hidden treasure into the crown jewel of our community, with the Heritage and Cultural Center and several community agencies. A building designed for people to separate will become a place for people to come together. Tom Perriello has the same spirit and desire for unity as our president. When President Obama eloquently stated, not just blue states or red states, but the United States all coming together. Tom Perriello has worked hard for us, and now it's time for us to do our part. Not just showing up here, but volunteering for the Perriello campaign. Not just showing up here, but we need lawyers and law students for voter protection on November 2nd. work on community gardens or clean up local trails. Students are not isolated within the walls of the University of Virginia. We are integral members of this community, and we must consider how our vote will affect this place which we hold so dear. Congressman Perriello has fought for legislation in Congress that aids students across the country and has not